Assalamu alaikum. Capacitor. What is the capacitor? The capacitor is a device consists of two metal plates separated by insulator. That insulator known as dielectric, for example, paper, air, or ceramic, like this. So that are two metal plates insulated by paper. So they form capacitor. But in practical, so this is the practical capacitor. So what is the function of capacitor? The capacitor is a device used to store electrical energy and release it. But the battery also store electrical energy. What is the difference between capacitor and battery? Let us see. In case of capacitor, when we connected the two metal plates to the battery, electrons transfer from the negative pole of the battery to one plate. That plate will be repel the same number of electrons in the opposite plate. So the electrons in the opposite plate transfer to the positive pole of the battery, leaving behind positive holes or positive charge. Then the charge on one plate becomes negative and the charge on the other plate becomes positive. Then we have a potential difference. Potential difference between the plates cause electric field. So the energy stored inside the capacitor as electrostatic field. This process will continue. The electron transfer from negative pole of the battery to one plate and another electron transfer from the opposite to the positive, and will be stopped when the potential difference between the two plates equal the potential difference of the battery. In that moment, we say the capacitor is fully charged. So, what is the difference between battery and capacitor? The main difference between battery and capacitor is that the battery stores charge in the form of chemical energy and converts to electrical energy, while the capacitor stores charge in the form of electrostatic field. What is the definition of capacitance of capacitor? Actually, when we see this figure, the positive charge on one plate equals the negative charge in the opposite plate. So the total charge in the capacitor is zero. For that, the capacitor does not store charge. But to separate the positive away to the negative, work is done. That work done stored as electrical energy. So the definition of capacitance of capacitor is that the charge stored on one plate per unit of potential difference between the plates. So the capacitance, denoted by C, is defined as the charge, denoted by Q, divided by the potential difference, denoted by V. So we can use this triangle. Q equals C times V, C equals Q over V, V equals Q over C. The charge measured in coulomb, the potential difference measured in volt, the capacitance measured in farad. So what is the definition of farad? The unit of capacitance is farad. 1 farad is 1 coulomb per volt, or more specified, capacitance of a capacitor having a charge of 1 coulomb on each plate when a potential difference of 1 volt between the two plates. Farad is a big unit, so we use microfarad. 1 microfarad equals 10 to the power negative 6 farad. So from microfarad to farad, multiply by 10 power negative 6. But from farad to microfarad, divided by 10 power negative 6, or multiply by 10 power positive 6. Where the capacitance of capacitor C is constant, so Q proportional directly to the potential difference between the plates. So the charge on one plate is proportional directly to the voltage between the two plates. So when we draw the relation between the charge Q and the voltage, we will get a straight line passes through the origin. The slope of this line equals Q over V. The slope is the capacitance. But what about the area under the curve? The area under this line is the work done. It means the energy stored inside the capacitor. How can we increase the capacitance of capacitor? Plate area, greater plate area gives the greater capacitance, less plate area gives less capacitance. Plate spacing, the distance between, because when the distance decreases, more electrons repel to each other, so the capacitance increases. Further plate spacing gives less capacitance. Closer plate spacing gives a greater capacitance. Also dielectric material, that insulated material in between. Greater permittivity of the dielectric gives a greater capacitance. Let us solve a question about this. A charge of 1.0 times 10 power negative 3 coulomb. So the given is Q. 1.0 times the 10 power negative 3 coulomb. On a capacitor, which a potential difference 500 volt. So V equals 500 volt. Calculate the capacitance in microfarad. So we need the capacitance in microfarad. What is the formula of capacitance? Capacitance C equals Q divided by V. Q is the charge in coulomb, which is 1.0 times the 10 power negative 3 over the voltage in volt 500. When we use the calculator, we will get the answer is 2 multiply 10 power negative 6 farad. But we need the answer in microfarad. From farad to microfarad, multiply by 10 power positive 6. Take care. From microfarad to farad, multiply by 10 power negative 6. But from farad to microfarad, multiply by 10 power positive 6. So it becomes 2 microfarad. I hope you understand this lesson. Thank you.